Hey Aries, thank you for coming. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. I already said my prayer. I got myself all situated, and since I don't have a swanky little intro, we're just going to jump right on in. I'm going to be using the energy deck to do a Celtic cross for you today. This is a general message. General message for Aries. All right, Aries. Let's get into it. See your energy, please. Aries. We're having the storm warning. In reverse. And door to spirit. Okay, storm warning in reverse and door to spirit. That's what we got crossing. Let me get a little bit more of your cards before I get started. Okay. I feel like you're having a hard time allowing yourself to move forward towards something or a situation. Like, because you think it's either going to cause problems or you're worried about it. Or maybe this is you freeing yourself from that feeling like you don't want to move forward because you're going to make waves or something. But I feel like either you're moving into that or you're working on that right now. Like, you're like, I feel like you're stuck a little bit. Or you're coming out of being stuck. Or either you don't realize you're stuck. Maybe that's it too. But it just feels like you want to release something, or you want to move in a different direction. You want to go towards something more better, profound, nicer, just better. And you're worried about it. It feels like you're having a hard time on either seeing how to move forward or how to go about it. And it could be in a lot of different things. It could be with a job and relationships. It's a lot of different scenarios for this, but there is this I don't know, maybe a lack of, I don't know if the word would be drive. It could be just a lack of passion, a lack of certainty, clarity maybe, but just some reluctancy to move forward. Crowning thoughts, I'm seeing the angel of love and anxiety. Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is. There's this worry of, okay, should I put myself first? Is this going to be okay? Or if I'm, when I did this last time, this is what happened. I feel like you're focusing maybe a little bit too much on the things that went wrong in the past. And so it's kind of making you nervous about being able to move forward or go towards the things that you want now. Yeah. Be mindful of that. You want to just focus your thoughts on the more positive outcome. Because I'm seeing the anxiety, and you see that lightning back there, the storm, that's you thinking about things that happened in the past, right? And here's the storm, but I feel like you want to move past these things. Storm warning in reverse. You want to move past these storms, move past those negative thoughts, and move past those negative people, those negative situations. This could also be, This could also be a relationship where you feel like you're contemplating on either staying or going. It could be over third-party reasons, or and a third party could be a lot of different things. It could actually be a person. It could actually be someone who's a workaholic, so the work is the third party. It could be the gym. You know, it just something else that interferes with the relationship, that makes you feel like they're getting maybe their passion or their love somewhere else, or maybe that in some cases that they have maybe given it to someone else. And there could just be that thought in your head that they're doing it. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily doing that, but that's where you're kind of, your head is taking you, or your head goes. Okay, what else here for Aries? One more in the anxiety department is what I was about to say. In the crowning thoughts, I usually get 3 up there. Kind of feel like that's really what you're thinking about, but let's see what we get. Caring connections. Yeah, you want caring connections, and you're also concerned about them. Like I said, you're wondering, like, if I take this action, how is it going to affect others? And it's nice of you to even be considerate enough to think about that. Like, it is really nice, but I think you're just letting it maybe control you a little bit too much. It's okay. Release yourself from things that are causing you anxiety and pain or discomfort. It's okay to do that. You don't necessarily know what the outcome will be. You're just focusing on the negative outcome, which can sometimes manifest that right towards you. So release a lot of that anxiety. Love yourself and say, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how they're going to take it, and I don't know what the future may hold, but I'm willing to take the step for myself to move forward so that I can get out of this energy. I don't want to feel like this. Yeah, deceit in reverse. I like that. Okay, that means breaking free of whatever anxiety or story that you've been telling yourself, seeing the truth in a situation, seeing the truth in people. This can also be for those of you who, I was saying earlier, you may be thinking about your partner has stepped out on you. This could be, if there is any deceit, this could be it coming to light, or this can also be you realizing that there was no cheating after all. Okay, and that it was just your mind and your insecurities basically playing tricks on you. Okay. Yeah, and we'll clarify some of these as well. What I'm seeing, emotional concerns right now for you is sort of personal healing and happiness. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. That's what you want. Yeah, you're just a little bit concerned about how to go about it, how to bring up these situations and these conversations. The Magician in the mirror is an environmental factor. So remember I said if your thoughts are focused on a negative outcome, then sometimes you draw that to you. And that if you're constantly, constantly focused on the negative and the negative events that happened in the past, well then more than likely you're going to mess around and conjure them right on up to yourself, okay? So you want to be able to release those things, right? Release it out to spirit, release it and put it into the universe's hands, right? And say, I don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be, but I'm going to definitely move from this space right here, okay? I don't want to keep myself stuck in the past, so I'm going to take I'm going to take the actions needed to move me out of this space. Okay, you have the capability and the capability to do that. Definitely here with this Magician in the mirror. That's you making up your mind to do that and then taking the actions to do it. Focusing your thoughts on the positive and a balanced outcome than rather the negative. Okay? Okay. Hostilities is coming out in hopes and what you're maybe really wishing for, and I'm surprised to see that. I'm definitely going to clarify that. But really what I feel like is you're just like, I think you're on the defense. And I think you're not really hoping for it, but that's what I'm saying. You're focused on it. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do and watch. Somebody is going to come at me all kind of crazy. And I feel like that's how you're on, like, you're like, so you're just kind of braced and you're already ready for it. It's I guess the unconsciousness it's still the energy that's still kind of a little more prevalent within you. You have a desire for something different and you will make some changes, but it's like you're still kind of focused a lot on that past energy or negative energy. Really, really pay attention to that and let your guard down. Allow the universe to bring in the positive outcome for you. Allow yourself to focus on that. So let the guard down just a little bit and focus in on more positive type of thing. You're going to have, you really have to open up that heart chakra a little bit more. Okay? Yeah, I feel like you're just tense, ready to pounce. Ready to pounce. All right. Strategy. Okay, I think you want a plan, or there's a plan that's coming in. There's a plan that you're creating. But I definitely think that you are looking for the right way to go about making these I'm going to say edits, cuts, decisions, steps. You're wanting to know how to go about that and how to do it. And I think the answer is start focusing more on the positive. There's a card in here that definitely speaks to that when it comes to advice. And before we get into advice, well, no, we'll go ahead and let that flow. Come on, I'll let it happen. There's a card that speaks to that. You really want to just mind your thoughts, okay? That's the strategy right there, is to remove yourself from the past hurts and the past situations that brought you negative news or things like that. Release yourself from that. Release yourself from that thought pattern of maybe you're telling yourself, oh, I'm just trying to prepare myself for the worst. Well, why don't you prepare yourself for the success, right? Why don't you start looking up lawyers so that you can set up trust funds for all the flow that's about to come in? Why don't you start looking at, new apartments or houses, in an area? Start doing things like that, because you're readying yourself for the positive outcomes that could happen as well. So you want to really, that's the strategy, that's the answer, is that's how you're going to put your guard down, and you're just going to trust that that it's going to work out in the best way possible for you, because that's what your intention is to relieve yourself of this anxiety and this negativity, and love yourself a little bit more to move forward into what makes you happy in a relationship. And sometimes, in some relationships, there might be the possibility that you have to let something about yourself or someone go. Any advice? What do you have for us? I'll take that one if nothing pops. This one and this one. Interesting. You got balance here, and then you have the contract card, which I consider to be very balanced here. And then you have the third eye chakra with Metatron, as well as the Ace of Air, which is very much like clarity and knowing for you guys, for me. So interesting, like seeing that. Message saying, blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary. Successful compromise, the power of diversity, self-control, patience, and balance. Okay, this is what you want to bring in, because you're really challenging yourself to come out of that negative thinking. You want to prepare yourself for some of the possible scenarios, and then you want to prepare yourself for a lot of the possible great scenarios, right? So you want to maintain or manage that anxiety. You want to manage that that thinking there, right? You really want to balance yourself out Sorry, there was something, and I was trying to finish the sentence, and so I lost it. But you really want to balance yourself out. Pay attention to what makes you feel good, because you're making decisions that are going to level out your emotions and make you more stable as an individual or as a person, make you feel a lot better on the inside. And that is important to you, because this is what you really want. You want your door to personal happiness and healing, or healing and happiness. So that's important for you to maintain this balance and find that balance within yourself. The Ace of Air says brilliant ideas that may need a little bit of refinement. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Remember that mindset and releasing that faith. Everything will work out. Okay, communicating concisely and clearly and remaining objective. Okay, you did get the Ace of Swords over here earlier in your premeditative energy, so that did come out twice for you. And it was in the negative, so definitely wanting to make sure that you're communicating clearly and that you're thinking of, you're being open-minded, and that you're not just focused on the negative. Just know that everything will work out positively. Let me see if was there any other energies that came out that were pretty much. The Hangman came out for you in pre-energy, and I'm seeing the strategy card. So again, wanting those answers and really listening, Aries, for them. Getting them. Actually, you've gotten the answer. You wanted an answer, and the answer is how can you move toward this personal healing and happiness? It's by making the decisions that you know you're uncomfortable with making, because you love yourself enough to not want to stay in this energy. You're making a change for yourself. You're desiring a change for yourself. And so some of it's going to feel uncomfortable when you release some people, or you release some situations, things that you've been doing, habits. It doesn't have to just be people, thoughts, habits, beliefs. When you release those and know that you're doing it for the betterment of yourself, then you're good. Let's go really quick. I'm going to want to see what this deceit card has here, because I want to tap a little bit into the love energy for a second and see if there's anything for those out there when it comes to that. So I'm feeling a little bit of, I don't want anyone to walk away with thinking the worst, but you're checking yourself on that. Like I said, I feel like this is really you realizing that it's just you thinking the worst, and that there's really not much for you to have your guard up for. The Eight of Cups, which came out again in your pre-energy there. So there might not be a hold on. Yeah, Aries, just don't be so quick to jump to a conclusion, especially a negative conclusion. Excuse me. There may be no need for you to have to walk away from anything. But if so, again, it's okay, because you're doing what needs to be done to get into tune with oneself, to get towards your personal healing and your healing and relaxation and rest, your mental relaxation as well, okay, your feeling of comfort. So I feel like you are willing to walk away from something, but you don't necessarily, you may not necessarily have to, because once you communicate and say, hey, I'm feeling this type of way, and you get your answer, you may find that it wasn't anything to be worried about in the first place, right? This is really you just getting your thoughts under control and learning how to communicate very effectively, calling in what you want, okay? All right, Aries, let's see what we got going in the love department. What's going on in the love department for Aries? Nothing solid, okay? We're gonna talk about that. Just give me 1 second. Nothing solid in jealousy. Okay, again, that's what I was saying earlier. There may not be a need for you to jump the gun and feel some type of like, my partner is doing the most. It may not be any need for that. So be mindful of where your thoughts are going to. You may get into a big fuss about something that it's not even relevant. So you don't want to create a situation because you are jumping the gun about stuff. You definitely want to be able to communicate effectively to your partner. Hey, I'm feeling a little bit off kilter about this. I'm feeling a little bit, to talk about how you feel and just get that out of there. Okay, there's nothing right now that really solidifies what you believe to be happening. I don't think that there's someone who's chasing your partner, or there's just not enough information right now. I actually think you're the one that's going to be, you possibly are chasing your partner away with some jealous type of actions. So be mindful of that. Yeah. You may think that by showing this jealous part of you or something that's how you know. That's not necessarily the way that you want to show and prove your love. Okay, that may actually be turning your partner away from you, not for you in a fatal event. Yeah, that might really just be turning your partner away. Okay. Yeah. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of having those jealous fits. Anything else? Be mindful of having those jealous fits with your partner. Because really, Aries, this might be the last time. Yeah. That either you take this from somebody, or that you are able to do it to somebody, because they're not putting up with that. It's interesting. I'm seeing celebration and youthful, and the Six of Cups came up in your pre-read. So basically, a lot of your cards mirrored themselves again. So celebration and youthfulness, they're not putting up with that. They're going back. They would rather go back to how they used to be. And then if this is you, Aries, if you were at one point maybe not this jealous, and this is something that came over you later on, or you started behaving like this, you want to go back to the way that it used to be. But this right here, this acting up part, or what have you, this is not the way to go. It's definitely not. And either you're going to be recognizing how much of a part, as a partner, you've changed, and you don't like it, so you're going to change that up, or somebody's going to be like, I'm not doing this. I was so much more happier. I wanted to go back to the way it used to be. Yeah. That's so be mindful of that so that you can continue on. Yeah, look at things with a new perspective. Remember that new perspective is going to be very powerful for you. That's your strategy on how to get to that higher vibration. Okay, start listening to different solfeggio beats. Start doing new things to bring in ways for you to make sure that you're focusing on that higher vibration, that you're going for a different outcome, and you're not focusing on the negative. Okay, Aries, that is all that I have for you. I appreciate this conversation, and we'll talk again soon.